welcome back to the Red Sofa here in Nashville at Automotive Logistics and Supply Chain Digital Strategies North America. I'm so pleased to be joined once again by Gerardo de la Torre, who is leading on so much of the digital strategies across the Americas region for Nissan. And Gerardo, you've opened our event with a great insight into the pillars of that strategy and some of the key progress that we've made. And I just wanted to drill into a few of those areas. And one there you've particularly made some progress on, and we've been reporting on together with you, is in the Tier N supplier visibility. Can you tell us a little bit more about some of the steps you've taken in this project and what it includes?
Well, thank you, Christopher, for the invitation. We have been very consistently focusing on advancing in this Tier N strategy. More than a year ago, we launched the digital solution that enables us to collaborate with our suppliers. And this digital tool enables suppliers to capture the content of Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier Ns. This is fully included in our non-disclosure agreements and within our strategy for Nissan new product development. This is part of the official documentation that we shared in between suppliers and Nissan. And I'm very happy to share that it's been extraordinarily very well received by our suppliers, and want to say thank to all of our suppliers that have engaged and provide this visibility. We created this tool within the mission to provide suppliers with a mechanism that they can also comply with the level of requirements on Tier N due diligence. And as of now, we have been able to capture more than 94% of all our Tier N data. Most of the suppliers in the USA and Mexico have already complied or provide the information. I can share with you guys that now we have clear visibility on where Tier 1s are, but where are the Tier 2s, where are the Tier 3s, Tier 4s. And this is extremely useful, very powerful information. We are using this, of course, to go and execute the necessary supply chain due diligence within human rights requirements. But we are also using for another type of optimization. We are now starting to explore if we have better opportunities to do more efficient logistics in between Tier 3s, Tier 2s, or between Tier 2s and Tier 1s when it comes to the similar locations. So there is a lot of traffic going in the same starting point to the same ending point, but we are just not sharing the capacity. So there is a huge synergy that is coming now. The experts on our teams are studying how can we advance with this type of additional levers. Definitively, this is a tool that we want to expand. We are expanding to our Latin American colleagues in Brazil and Argentina, and also to the global function. It's been very much well received, and again, thank you to all our suppliers to provide this, and together we have been more proactive and resilient on many risk preventions.
It's a great achievement, 94% of that Tier N data. And as you mentioned, I mean, this started on the basis of due diligence, human rights, compliance topics. But as you so well explained, it opens up a whole host of opportunities.
Correct.
You highlighted optimization and logistics. Do you also see potential in risk mitigation in other strategic areas like that?
Yes. Let me just give you some concrete example. And I will talk in the conference about our preventive actions for protecting our cybersecurity and potential exposure. We have had suppliers in our network that unfortunately has been attacked. And there was a case where one Tier 2 supplier that got, unfortunately, a cyber attack. It was possible through the availability of all of this Tier N information to check who their Tier Ns were, but more importantly, who their Tier 1s were. And we were capable in a very short period of time to share with all the Tier 1s about their potential concerns with their Tier 2. It was a Tier 2. The feedback we got from several of these suppliers was very, very positive, because they were alerted in a very early stage of the event. They are not the impacted ones, but they were procuring some components. Of course, this demands a lot of discipline and routines to execute the prevention and get out of the, let's say, cybersecurity threat. But what is great is to see that our manufacturing lines in Nissan plants in Mexico and in the USA were practically not disrupted. Something that could mean maybe days or weeks of production downtime, and it's very powerful.
Absolutely, and needless to say, we live in very uncertain times.
Yeah.
Market, trade policy, as you mentioned, these sort of weather and cyber incidences. Do you see the tier N visibility as a key point in helping you to manage, mitigate, and even avoid some of these things?
Yes, extraordinarily very important information, because, as example, we are dealing now with issues as the rare earths minerals, due to the trade tensions. And of course, rare earth materials for us is so far away of our tier N chain.
That's right, yeah.
But now, together with our tier 1s, we can understand who our tier 1s are, where they procure the rare materials from, and of course, try to understand what are our run-out dates and more. Before, if I give you guys a simple comparison on how we deal with the semiconductor crisis back in 2020 and 2021, in case of the semiconductor, because we didn't have all of this tier N data, for us, every time that a new problem was announced, totally was new. Yeah. We have to understand who is the semiconductor maker, then who is the tier 3, tier 4. And that was the reason why we decided to go and significantly put energy, resources, talented people, full coordination. I'm very proud of what our teams in Nissan North America have developed for this type of solution. And with this, we are also aiming to share globally to our Nissan global functions in Europe, in Asia, and in Japan. But extremely useful and extremely powerful.
Absolutely, and you, of course, played a very important role in that here, Gerardo, as one of the central leaders of helping to coordinate the response and the supply. So it is very positive that, let's say, there are tools, better tools this time and processes to get in front of this. One of the things you mentioned was about rolling this out to South America, extending this, and since we last spoke on the Red Sofa, that's been an important change in the organization. You now have a regional responsibility in South America.
Correct.
Can you tell us, in terms of digitalization, what opportunities this is offering you, harmonizing systems, improving visibility, as you mentioned?
Thank you. That's a very good question. Yes, effective January of this year, I'm responsible also for our operations in Brazil and Argentina in supply chain. And in the initial few months, we immediately deep dive into the full understanding of what they have, what we have, what are the areas of potential synergy, but more importantly, where we can immediately start to share and transfer what we have developed in North America with our Brazilian and Argentinian teams. I'm so happy to share that. Example, the tier N data sharing will be one of the first priorities. In the conference, we have one of our key leaders that it's now taking this activity. I think in the short future, within a couple more months, we will see a very dense identification in our digital tools of the location of our Brazilian and Argentinian suppliers, their tier 2s, their tier 3s. And just to share this data, which is a very important part of our strategic action plan, globally speaking, Nissan do Brasil will become one very important hub of exportation of vehicles built in our factory in Rio de Janeiro. This comes after just a few weeks ago, we just launched the production of one of our new models, but in less than 6 months, we will launch a second new model, and the capacity and utilization of this factory is going to significantly increase and start to export to more than 20 countries. So getting all the data availability from tier N one side, but also from external risk prevention, from cybersecurity, from all the additional example BPCs and WMS and YMS systems standardization in the region. This is also going to bring a too much more full Americas regional systems, strategy, data integration. And of course, I keep on appreciating our talented people in the entire region, because thanks to you guys is how all of these activities have and all of these strengths has been properly developed, and now they are in availability for us.
Well, and mentioning the team and mentioning the recognition, I think that's an important point, because you've shared in the conference that there has been some important awards that some of the projects in the team. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what's happened there?
Well, thank you. Humbly speaking, but it's extraordinarily great energy and motivation, and so proud of what the teams have accomplished. In the Americas, there is some recognitions, and there are also some global. We were awarded as the Chief Financial Officer Gold Award because of all the activities that supply chain plus many other functions in our company we have done together to enable the full qualification of our vehicles built in Mexico to the export to USA under the USMCA criteria. This gold award by the Chief Financial Officer makes a lot of very genuine recognition because under the current trade situation, we've been able to qualify all our models and then, of course, enable some significant savings on tariffs in the way that the trade and tariff agreement has been deployed. And well, this is also being internally announced in the Americas that we also are winner of the America's Chairman Award. So again, very proud of all of the participants, both in USA and in Mexico, many departments. Thanks to you guys, really, really proud of everything we have done together. And let's continue, as I always said, humbling and humble speaking, but always with our heart and our mind fully focused. So thank you guys.
Well, that is a great message. And Gerardo, just one last question to kind of close with, because you also deliver the message in the conference of areas where you do want to go faster. You want to start going faster in AI applications, for example. And some of this trade data, tier N data, seems like an area where is a big opportunity.
Yes. Definitively, after the last 2 years, where we have invested a lot in giving us the foundational structure to data analytics, consolidate all the information. You will see in the conference some more details by one of our experts, and put the regional infrastructure on systems and solutions. Now we want to explore and go faster with how can we do more on utilization of AI. We made some trials on digital twins. We made one of our key partners are already fully utilizing AI for us to get correct and accurate level of alerts. Definitively, this is something that our teams are focusing, and I think we need to go to the next step, taking big advantage on the powerful contributions of AI and using, as I said, it's always about technology, how we can become more efficient, more resilient, and more proactive. So let's go.
Absolutely, let's go. And that's a great note to finish our discussion. Check out more coming from here on LinkedIn and on our website, because we're going to be sharing highlights and insights from Gerardo's keynote, from other presentations and insights from the Nissan team on this digitalization strategy, and of course, a lot more on the topics you've just been hearing about. Thanks so much for following us, and Gerardo, thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much, Christopher. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.